That's right, YouTube. It's time to get yourself some of these chickens. What you see here are some Rhode Island Reds. There's my rooster and some red sectionlings. You're asking yourself, well, why doesn't every man prepper need these? I'm sure all of you have noticed that we're in a time of food shortages. Grocery stores running low. Farmers are getting their crops destroyed by weather. There's the war over there in Europe that's halting grain shipments. Brazil, Argentina are having their own problems with their grain and corn production. Now, some of you I know are going to the grocery store in your area and are saying, my store is stocked. I have everything I need. There's nothing I don't need. Well, that's great for you. Take this time and stock it up. Load it to the rafters. Stack it to the rafters. Don't wait until you see the shortages. For the rest of us, which is the majority, you go to the store. You see holes everywhere in the aisles. No eggs, no chicken, no milk, canned food low, flour, all that stuff. They're fronting everything. Sometimes they're putting non-food items in the food aisles just to take up the space so it doesn't look empty. So what can you do? Well, get yourself some of these critters. Now, for those of you in the city that are in a high-rise building, all that you're saying, I can't do a chicken. Yeah, you're probably right. You know what you can do? Get quail. Put quail inside in a cage. It's like a parakeet. It's a pet. They make small eggs, about 3 quail eggs to 1 chicken egg, and you have yourself a protein source. You're going to need a protein source. People in the suburbs that are saying, oh, my neighbors won't like it. I have an HOA. I've seen chicken coops made out of dog kennels, dog runs. You get a dog house, put it on a dog run, put a shade cover on top. Most likely neighbors won't even know what you have going on there. You start getting eggs if the neighbors ask, even though the HOA says you might not be able to have it. Pass them a couple fresh eggs. Win them over. You'll probably be fine. Those people in the country, well, you know you have no trouble. And you can just, build up a small chicken coop, little run, have yourself some nice, fresh eggs almost every day. Now, also, times get lean, and if you have a rooster, you can get that fertilized eggs, incubate them yourselves, or if you have a hen that's broody, hatch some of your eggs. Keep some for egg laying, keep some for eating. Now, one thing some people might be thinking is, I don't have the time to raise chickens. It's too hard. Chickens are some of the easiest animals to raise. They're easier than a dog, easier than a cat. You don't have to walk them, you don't pet them. You give them food, water, and a little bit of shelter, and they're mostly on autopilot. They're some of the easiest animals to raise. In spring through fall, they're going to crank out about an egg every other day. If you have 4 chickens, you're going to get 2, 3 a day. You have 2 chickens, you'll get 1 or 2. You get 6 chickens, even more. So, depending on the size of your family, if you have a family of 4 chickens probably be plenty. If you just want to start off small. If you have 3 eggs a day in the summer, if you don't eat 3 eggs every day, start stocking them up. One thing that's great about eggs laid by a chicken in your yard is if you don't wash them, they can sit on the counter about 3 weeks, or you can put in the refrigerator for up to 6 months. I'm not a food expert. I'm not a doctor or anything like that. I can just tell you my own experience and my own. What I do is if I have extra eggs, I put them in the refrigerator. I've eaten them 6 months later, and they're fine. Sometimes I have enough chickens where that happens. What happens in the winter, when the chickens molt and it gets cold and they stop producing most of their eggs, well, you're going to run low on your production. So you're going to want to stockpile your summer eggs into the fall and winter. Don't give them, you can give them to your neighbors if you want to, but I would save them. I save almost every egg. You put them in the refrigerator. You label the date. You label what order they came out in. And you try to ride through the winter with them. It's a great source of protein. There's nothing like farm-raised eggs. And as the shortages get more intense, which they will, because remember, we're still working off of last year's food supplies, last year's grain, corn, everything else. Wait till the harvest come in this year. With all the damage to the fields, like I said, the war, maybe China and Taiwan kicking off, it's going to be a lot worse. Prices are going to skyrocket more. It's going to become more scarce, but you know what? You're going to have a protein source for your family. You're going to have a way to get food and possibly even meat, if you choose to, from your chickens. It's basically a no-brainer. If you live in the country, there's no reason why everybody shouldn't have eggs. If you're in the suburbs, get yourself a couple and start. It's great for children. Good to give them tasks. They're in charge of watering, feeding, collecting the eggs. Get them started on the prepping trend, and they'll get into it and they'll love it and they'll want to do more. In future videos, I'll talk more about what kind of coop you can build, how to make a good waterer, how to make a good feeder, some of the tricks about raising them. But for now, think about how you can get some chickens into your yard, into your life, to get you started, to get off the system. Start making your own food, making your own protein, and taking care of your family yourself. Until next time, keep your ear to the ground and head on a swivel.